Hello everyone, it's Teacher Sam, as most of you know me. This is a little bit of a different video. It really doesn't have anything to do with VIPKID, which is where I teach, or with VIPKID, which is also where I teach. I wanted to do a very real review of my thoughts on Connections Academy. To give a little bit of background, I have been homeschooling our daughter since she was in the 3rd grade. We pulled her out due to several different situations, and we then went and did ABECA, the ABECA homeschool curriculum. Wonderful, wonderful system. She actually completed, in that year, she did 3rd and 4th grade. The following year, she did 5th and 6th grade, because she would complete the whole series in one semester. We weren't going year round. She just flew through the material. And then 7th, 8th, and now she's in the 9th grade. But what I want to talk about is, it's actually a year ago now. And what brought this up is I'm now seeing commercials for Connections Academy and K12 learning. So I wanted to give you my thoughts on it. I will tell you, we really tried to make this work. We tried to make Connections Academy Alabama work for us. We tried it for 4 months because we weren't really sure where the problem was. So basically, you log in every day, and they do have a homeroom teacher, which you do get to talk to. You do have a direct connection to the school. And we got a lot of emails from the teachers as well. But what we kept finding was, even though our daughter was working sometimes 10 hours a day, it would still come up on this sheet that she was 50 lessons behind. 100 lessons behind. And I mean, she was literally, legitimately putting 8 to 10 hours a day in. And sometimes she would opt to work on Saturdays to try and catch up. And she was still behind. Now I'm going to tell y'all, these lessons they're point and click. It's, you read a little bit, you may watch a video, answer a question, click. That's all it is. Once a week they have a classroom online teaching session with a teacher. Our first issue that we had was the science teacher, this was for 8th grade science. I don't remember if it was maybe physical science, but we discovered that the chat in the classroom was completely unmonitored before and after class. So students would go in there early and they would turn their webcam on, and then they would chat. And if the teacher closed the chat box, tons of things were being said. Tons of things that I didn't find appropriate for 8th grade. Now, let's go a step further. Our daughter went from being a straight A student, breezing through 2 grades at a time, to failing. And I don't mean like a C, a low B. I mean like F, 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 F. A in art, F. And this is one of those things where you look at the situation, you're like, okay, did I fail her homeschooling her, or is there a problem with the process? And so at first, we got on to her. We were like, you have to step it up. You have to work harder. But it didn't matter how hard she worked. She was still behind. And so you get into the science thing. I'm going to use science as an example. And let's say that this week the teacher's going to teach about volcanoes. But your child may be a week behind and they're still learning about snowstorms. Or they may be 2 weeks behind and they're learning about how clouds form. Or they may be 2 weeks ahead and they're learning about Saturn's atmosphere. So every student in the class is at a different level than what the teacher's teaching. Okay, so I got to looking at like her test. And we were hands-on. Like, we would sit down with her and go through the work. And I couldn't understand why, if she was doing what the assignments was, why was she failing the test? After some research, I sat down with a laptop and a desktop, and I pulled up the assignments that she had done on the laptop, and I pulled up her test on the desktop. So, okay, let me go through this and see what happens here. And I'm telling you that I looked through all of that information in the highest grade, with given only the information on the system that my child could get was a C. The other answers weren't there. When I asked the homeroom teacher about it, I want you to know the response that I got was, well, we don't write the test. Okay. And we don't write the lesson. Okay. What do? We facilitate the online class. Have you read the material? And I'm going to tell you guys, I had 2 separate teachers tell me they had never read the material that the children were taking in the class. They had never read it. Apparently Pearson's book company, or there's another one, starts with an M. They created this online learning environment with their books. They created all of the tests. And after a lot of research, I found that over 80% of the teachers I talked to never read the material. They were told they didn't need to. So these teachers are teaching things that they've never read, and students are failing because the teachers aren't teaching what's in the lessons. Because they don't know this. They don't know that that's what it's on. Y'all, it was so convoluted. I kid you not. Like, when we left, there was some very inappropriate things said by a teacher to me and to my daughter, because after I was already upset over this whole history test thing that I discovered, the teacher opened up the classroom where the students were. So once the teacher opens it, then all the students can enter the classroom. All the students' pictures are listed here. And students start doing very inappropriate things on camera. But the teacher had left, and opted to leave the classroom open. Which means all of that was unmonitored. When he came back and saw it was still happening, all he did was kick them out. But he let them back in. The screen had a list of obscenities on it, and the things that my child saw in that time are ridiculous. Okay? So we immediately pulled out of Connections Academy. And someone said, oh, your child's just not ready for that grade. No, because we've actually opted now. She's back in public school, and they put her in 9th grade because she actually tested into 10th grade, and she's 12. I'm not worried at all. I know my child can handle it. But I wanted to give a fair assessment of what I found as a previously homeschooling parent of the pitfalls of Connections Academy. It scares me that they're advertising this so much online, that it's this perfect system, because it's not. And it scares me that a lot of parents may be depending on that, maybe without doing any research. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Leave a comment below. I'll email you, or I will gladly message back and forth with you to help you in any way that I can. I am an educator. I am an English as a second language teacher, and I can tell you that it's a broken system. And I know that the public school system is by many considered a broken system, and I know that a lot of people look at homeschooling as an alternative, and it is. But don't be so fast to jump on the bandwagon of, oh, I need to go to this Connections Academy or K12, because you may be disappointed. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, I hope to talk to you soon. I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.